guys, still here, welcome back to more Wargame Red Dragon. Today we have good old Plungin Valley. And on Plungin Valley I am operating with my Eurocorps Motorized deck. I'm going for a fast offensive. Normally I would try and get into Foxtrot and do a bit of pushing in potentially Braugh. This time around I decided to do something else. We're going to go for Delta. Now, I'm fighting a lieutenant. This is with me still being a captain. It's going to be, by the time that you watch this, a somewhat older replay as I'm working ahead. Seeing as in, well, right about now, by the time that you're watching it, I have probably been introduced to my second child as my wife gave birth. So, I'm busy with other stuff and this is pre-recorded. Now, moving on to Wargame. I am pushing on Braugh hard. I want to secure Braugh. I want to still carve out a bit of Foxtrot so that I need to, or if I want to, I can still have a CV in there. So we're getting a Tiger Scout, we're getting a Panther, and that is a Commander Marine to drop off, and an HEGM to drop off as well. Although the HEGM that's dropping off there with the second Panther is mostly there to provide the Panther itself, not so much the HEGM. Seeing as I'm not encountering anything here yet, I'm immediately moving up. Also got a mortar there in case I need to smoke up and get more ground covered. You can see that my left flank, everything between Foxtrot and the middle, is very, very, very open. Commander Marines standing by, HEGM standing by, Panthers pulling slightly back until needed, and I can see a couple of transports coming in. Looks like this guy is playing Commonwealth, and I'm smoking with the mortar through Delta to try and get a cover, if you will, a cover line, so that I can move further into that sector. Now normally you would carve out a little bit of terrain in Delta and then make sure that you have enough space to put a CV, but I'm going to go for something a little more ambitious. Up until the point, as you can see, where I'm encountering two Challenger 1 Mark IIs. That's a bit much. I'm not a fan of Challenger 1 Mark IIs as I'm a motorized deck and I need something heavy to kill it. If, however, I can eliminate the Stormer, that would help. So that's why I called in the Peace Rhine. I'm going for the Stormer, not the tanks, the Stormer. Because my Tiger still has anti-tank missiles. I just need an opportunity to use them. The Stormer's on the move. Currently not able to return fire. There goes the missile. The Commando Para were paramount in spotting that. And now that I have that tank dead, or the anti-air dead, I can have my tanks push in. Oh, sorry, my tanks, my helicopters, my Tigers, and my Panthers. Although at this point they're out of ammo. Now, couple of Canadian rifles coming up. Over on the other side I have nothing, so I decide to use my Fabez. And I'm constantly calling in more stuff. Always play offense. Legionnaires in the building, trying to hold off the serious push of Canadian rifles over there. Sadly, both Panthers out of ammo. I could have really used those. Now, I know that the other guy is ticking. He has a +2, so it is definitely in my best benefit, or my best interest, to start getting a CV out. But I first want to control more of this sector of his. I want to control more of his +2. With that smoke wall in position, I can now dash across and go directly for his town. If I can get that, there's a pretty good chance I'll neutralize his CV. I'll also neutralize his ability to reinforce into Braugh. And any reinforcements coming down the road into Delta are going to have a problem. Peace Rhine taking out a fairly low value target, but it was really the only tank that they had. And with enough points saved up, I can now get a CV, so I stop losing points. Or rather, I don't lose them, but he starts ticking them. Another Panther comes in, this is another Commander Marine, and the VAP 2013s are still moving forward. These 2013s are carrying more Legionnaires. Legionnaire 90, that is. And unfortunately, the Legionnaires on the other side, here in Alpha, have just died. Now, he seems to be catching on to my more extensive use of the Panther helicopters and calls in a Challenger marksman, so that's pretty expensive. Giving me the information that that is not an area where he can currently do a whole lot with ground forces. It's a Challenger marksman, it's expensive. If he spent that on anti-air there, it means he's not spending it on anti-air anywhere else, or ground units for that matter. Chasseurs have been dropped off, now it's the time for the Legionnaires to come in. I was trying to get my Chasseurs over there first to see if there was anything slightly lower value. CF-188 Hornet comes in. I'm countering with a fighter, but it's going to take a little longer than I hope. But I have two VBL Mistrals, which managed to get the guy over to half hit points. And potentially, yeah, there I go, the Mirage took it out. Mirage got the kill. Or it was the Tiger, I'm not sure. This means that my Peace Rhine can do more damage. And over here, I can even spot a mortar. That's a nice target. Shame if something happened to it. Also, the AMX-10 RCs over there, I believe, have been successful in eliminating the Challenger Marksmen, so I can move them up. Now, there's the mortar. There's the Command Chieftain. That's what I want to find. Unfortunately, I'm just shy of reaching that with the Legionnaires. The Chieftain, however, is trying to fight back. The 2013s that dropped off the Legionnaires on the left in Fox are now making it through the forest and are about to approach Echo. I don't really expect a whole lot of them. You could argue that maybe I'm sacrificing them unnecessarily, but I'm just trying to harass this guy with different units in as many different locations as possible. Now I know that it shot his fighter down, I know his Stormer is dead, I know his Challenger Marksman's out of commission, so I'm gonna fight with more Peace Rhines. MX-10 RC's holding the line over there, making it very difficult for him to get more reinforcements into Delta. Peace Rhine is circling, cannot find the target, however, so the Tiger's moving up. There's another tank. The Tiger flies over enemy anti-air in the form of commandos. Takes very little damage, fortunately. Peace Rhine engages and misses. Second Peace Rhine does not. Now, here come the reinforcements. Legionnaires immediately wiping out the scimitars. Not necessarily the right unit to bring in over here for Lieutenant Azazel. And, oh, there's another Stormer. That's bad news for the Tiger, and the Tiger dies. And a combination of the Hornet, so that's his second Hornet, and the Stormer. So what does this tell me? Well, he has a Stormer, he has a plane, he has a command tank, and he still has the Challengers. So I'm gonna need some higher value, or... There you go, Mistrals took it again. That's the second fighter down. I'm gonna need some higher value anti-infantry, or anti-tank infantry. First, let's contain them. That's what the Legionnaires for that I just bought. MX-10 RC's pushing forward a bit too far. In retrospect, a bit too far. A bit too aggressive. I mean, always play offense, but this is potentially overextending. VBL Mistrals moving forward, trying to help out with enemy plane defense, if you will, enemy air defense, slash dealing with enemy helicopters. Now, the 10 RCs are trying to get kills, but against a 20mm gun, they're going to struggle. They don't have the armor, and they have very little in the sense of anti-air. So the Mistrals are just patiently waiting there. Now he's shelling one of my buildings, so I'm moving it to the other building. And on the left you can see some activity. I like this. He is starting to recognize that I have a lot of stuff forward, but not so much stuff out on the left. And he's right. He is right. But I have Legionnaires there, and they are making it very difficult for the transports to keep going. But one of them is about to get through. A 113A1, so that needs to get chased down. Sadly, by overextending, I lost both AMX-10 RCs over there, needlessly. And hopefully the Mistrals can take down the Lynx AH-7 20mm. Also pushing forward another Gazelle. There's the Challengers again, and the Gazelle gets attacked by TH-495 and promptly dies. Time for the Peace Rhines to come in again. I know that he still has potential for planes, so I'm also sending the fighter after it. Lost line of sight for a second, lost line of sight again. I did hit something, but I'm also getting shot back at by a Peace Rhine and potentially something else. Legionnaires over there in Delta still holding the line, still making it very difficult for reinforcements to come in. And I'm no longer losing points, but I'm not gaining any either. At this point, I'm mostly focused, however, on getting more terrain. Pushing out those Challengers, getting rid of the command tank in Delta. And, well, since I have a few points spare, I send a CV to Bravo, because there is far less likeliness of that CV getting killed, rather than the other one. Now, quite a few helos about. Lynxes. I still have 6 Mistrals, so I should be able to take some of these guys down. There goes one miss, another miss. That's all of a sudden 4 missiles down. Mistrals are reloading. Let's move up the infantry. Mistrals engaging the recon bird. Commander Marine over there on the flank, mostly to prevent any further motorized maneuvers towards that sector over there. I don't want them there. Legionnaires cannot hit the target. It's too far away for the machine gun to do anything. And I had called in an MX-10RC earlier on the left to defend that open area. In case he pushes through the forests, it's not that likely, but you never know. I'm still trying to work with the motto, always play offense. Never fall back is not really one of them. Always play offense. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to lock down Delta. At the moment, I'm not that invested in hunting down the CV yet. I'm mostly bolstering my forces with higher value anti-tank capability. In the meanwhile, let's get a shield around my main CV so that doesn't go down. Speaking of going down, I lost one Peace Rhine. That Stormer is still active, and now I know exactly where the challengers are. They're caught between the Commando Marines and the Legionnaires to the other side. So if they make a move anywhere, they're most likely going to get sideshot. Commando Marines, time to flank, attack move there. Get the Panther standing by, there's more infantry there, but I don't know what the situation is with anti-air for his side. Commander Para, recon infantry coming forward to try and detect those tanks. And potentially the anti-air as well, so I can either hit it with a mortar or with a Peace Rhine. That is, the mortar, the Stormer. And there is further infantry coming in. We need to take that down. There we go, CV is in position in Bravo. Calling in more Legionnaires all the way on the far right to make sure that I get some infantry coming in from the right. Because the middle, well, there's still this stuff, and the MX-10RC is working hard to take it down. But until it is down, I'm not considering that road, especially with those challengers looking at it, completely clear. The challengers pull back, and so does the Stormer, but the Legionnaires are in hot pursuit. And they miss, sadly, against the Stormer. They need to take this shot now before the challengers get a kill. There we go. That is the other Stormer dead. So that's his second Stormer dead. I'm not sure how many he has in this deck, but I suspect 3 or 4. The Legionnaires are starting to struggle a little bit. There is a few too many infantry units coming their way now, so they're going to need help. I don't believe my Panthers are still alive. Although at the moment I'm not too sure what killed them, so I'm calling in a different Panther. There's the Peace Rhine, and that is one dead challenger. Very nice. Here comes a Harrier GR3. Sadly, my bomber is unavailable. The Harrier, however, is taking a shot with rocket pods at my Legionnaires, so it's not that deadly. I can make that work. MX-10RC coming in, trying to shoot enemy transports before the Legionnaires have to or run out of missiles, and also supporting fire against any infantry. GM pushing forward, I even got an anti-air gun over there. Legionnaires attacking the logistics. The reason for that is that I don't want the tank there to get resupplied. I don't want the Challenger to get repaired, and I want to make sure that that command tank over there stays nice and isolated. Now, Commander Marines are fantastic in dealing with enemy infantry. They're not that good, or at least not as good as the Fallschirmjäger in dealing with vehicles. So I now have a problem. I need more infantry. So more HGMs, another Panther coming in. On the left, still nothing happening. Or at least not that I know of. Here comes the GR3 again. That's the rocket pod Harrier. He's once again most likely going to try and attack on my Legionnaire. But I'm not sure exactly where he's going. He might have forgotten about the plane, so the Mirage 2000C takes it down. At this point there's only 4 Legionnaires left, and there is very little that I can do to immediately relieve pressure other than go on an offensive with the Panther over there. Despite the fact that they still have their HHM infantry inside. But hey, that's their green jackets down. And there comes the Challenger Marksman. Time to go, because that is not something that I can take down. Seed aircraft coming in to deal with Challenger Marksman. Challenger Marksman is not necessarily that dangerous to my helicopters, because I'm not operating that close to the front line. But it's also a very deadly anti-infantry weapon. With armor. So you might think, well, the Legionnaires have a fantastic HGM. And you're right, they do. But they might get stunned as they are trying to kill that unit. As they're trying to attack it. Chieftain Mark 10 has been detected. I am trying to attack it with the Commander Marines, and in the meanwhile, by some miracle, the Legionnaires are still alive. There comes the Peace Rhine, and it takes the command tank down. Now, that not only got me a +2, but it also means that he has to start buying more CVs. There's the Challenger Marksman. I got the Chasseurs trying to get a kill, but I can't. So I'm once again flying the Seed aircraft around to, again, attempt to hunt down that Challenger Marksman. And here comes the GR3, or rather, a different GR3. Chasseur can't hit it, Legionnaires can't hit it. I'm going to have to wait for the Seed aircraft. If it is active. which it is. And the first missile misses, the second missile misses as well. Great shooting. Try again. Oh, and there's a second one at base. Another Challenger marksman. So, yeah, there are plenty of targets. Relocating the Legionnaires. Getting a Leopard for the flank. Not necessarily the best buy, because I already got the HGM there. And I also have an MX-10 RC sitting back there, just chilling at the moment. Should be using that a bit more. There's a VAP, there's the MX-10 RC. There's the Mirage on patrol, but it's out of missiles. So far, so good. Income doing well, points doing well. Structure, or my offensive in Delta's going well. Yeah, not too bad. If he wants to get in here, it's going to get expensive. Or he has to give up his +2, his Delta sector entirely, which I don't think he wants to do. And the only location he could go to is Foxtrot, which is only a +1. So he really has to clear out Delta. But I believe he was playing a Commonwealth tank deck? I'm not 100%, but I think that that's what he said after the match. Armored decks are very difficult to make work. Unless you are Blitz War. In that case, it can work. I'm much more of a fan of motorized decks. Because you're far more cost effective. A tank easily costs you 80 to 150 points, depending on what tank you have. And you just need to kill far more to break even. Whereas, for example, with the Legionnaires, if I kill 2 transports, I effectively have broken even. And then I got the 2013s, for example, to deal with any further infantry. Now, I'm pretty sure Delta's clear. There might still be a Challenger alive, but I'm not sure. Regardless, we're moving up. Got the Panther standing by to deal with any further Canadian rifles. There is still a logistics vehicle. This time around I couldn't kill it. I'm just going to try and capture it. There is my CV. So I'm now at a +4. Very nice. Now he is bringing in more and more units over there. So I'm going to get some recoilless rifles to provide fire support in case I want to push with the Legionnaire. Or with the Fallschirmjäger 90, which are coming in right now. And I don't mean the Fallschirmjägers that you can see, the Fallschirmjägers that are called in. There's the 10RC, trying to provide a better firing spot for the 10RC by moving it up, while ideally not getting too close. Command Marine in a pretty good position, and there comes a tank. Another tank. This is what I mean. That tank is going to have to do a lot of work in order to break even. The Legionnaires, at far lower value, or far lower price tag, can take it down. And the Peace Rhine has already made... well, I think it's already broken even. So if this thing dies, it's just a bonus, really. And it doesn't die because it's Challenger, but it takes almost all of its hit points in damage. 1 point of surviving. HGM Milan F1. Engaging from the flank. As you can see, these Challengers are nowhere safe. Everywhere they're getting harassed. Oh, there's a Stormer out in the field. That needs to go. That Stormer. Yeah, there you go. He says this is just Cancer versus Armored. They said this is Moto. And yeah, he was playing Armored, but by playing Armored, he made life very, very hard on himself. Always play offense. And I think that with this deck, that works quite well. If you want to copy it, it's down below in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comment down below. And otherwise, I'll see you soon for more videos.